Hey everybody, it's Daddy1424, the MediaPurchaseGuide.com, and today we have a comparison video. We're going to be comparing the Wii U Gamepad to the PS Vita, future potentials, what it is today, hardware, software, all that good stuff. I'm going to try and make it as quick, as simple as possible for you, while touching upon the necessities. First things first, remember to like, 2 thumbs up, subscribe, and leave some comments down below. That's down there in the comment section if you haven't already. This is the first video in December where we're hitting that slew and the dry period of games, so I'm trying to find different ways to do videos that you may want to see. If there's anything I haven't done or you want to see, let me know in the comment section. I'll be sure to try and address that in possibly my next video. And speaking of that, I will have some announcement pertaining to that at the end of this video. So let's go ahead and start with the 2 consoles here, the Wii U Gamepad and the PS Vita. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to boot these on simultaneously, check out the boot times, and then we're going to go around the device, the exterior, and the hardware and talk about that. So let's see how this works here. I released a little bit late on the PS Vita there, but we'll see what happens here. Now keep in mind, guys, that the Wii U is connecting to the console itself, so it is basically a streaming media content or enabled device versus an actual handheld itself, and that comes into play when talking about, obviously, you know, what the functionality is, and we'll get into that a little bit deeper in a moment. So you can see, obviously, up here we have the Wii U Gamepad, and down here we have the PS Vita. So I will start with the Vita. We've gone over this before, and I'm sure a lot of you are aware, but I just want to recap in case you are not. So on the bottom here we have the charging port. We also have your dual analog sticks, and of course a rear touchpad and front touchscreen, which is a 5-inch OLED. We have your standard buttons, your front-facing camera over here, your D-pad, your left and right shoulder buttons. Of course, your memory cartridge is up here for your actual games if you're not downloading. And let's open up this one here. This is actually supposed to be for maybe possibly an accessory in the future. Your volume up and down buttons are beside it, and aesthetically, sorry, hold on a second. Volume buttons up and down, and of course the rear-facing camera. Now aesthetically, as for build of the device itself, this seems to be more of a solid build in my opinion, just the aluminum brush that they use here and the actual quality compared to the Gamepad. The Gamepad is actually very deceivingly light, so you know, in quality I'm going to actually have to go ahead and give it to the PS Vita itself. But let's, obviously, I'm going to unlock this here. Give me 1 second. There we go. Let's actually go ahead and show, talk about the Gamepad here for a moment. So on the Gamepad, you can see we have the mic, we have the home button, the TV, the power button. You have your start and select, your standard controls. The lighting I know is a little bit off. The joystick is there. We have another joystick up here. Your D-pad. On the top here we have, which would be basically for your charging port, your 3.5 millimeter, your sensor, which will connect to your sensor bar, of course your volume button, and of course the stylus as well. Your shoulder buttons, you have 2 of them, so standard to play on a lot of the games that are available in today's industry. Also, we noticed a little things that we discovered when talking a little bit about the Wii U in depth a little bit more, was this little screw here at the bottom, which leads us to believe that there might be a future accessory to come with this. Now, that's pretty much everything for the hardware. Obviously, the Wii U doesn't have any real internals because, like I said, it is streaming. The PS Vita does have, it has its own processor, its own GPU, all that great stuff built in there. So it gives you more functionality when taking away from the console itself. Now, talking about these devices, you know, like I said, the Wii U Gamepad being a great device for streaming, well, the PS Vita can do the exact same thing with remote play. Now, remote play is not as smooth as you're going to get the experience to be on things like the Gamepad, simply because they haven't worked out all the ports. Now, I do believe this will come into play later on PS4 or Orbis, as people say, so Orbis Vitae for those who are unaware, because that is to mean Circle of Life, and I believe that we're going to see that heavier remote play, you know, connectivity introduced later on come the next generation system. So I wouldn't count this out. Size comparison quickly, just to give you an idea, there is a significant size difference here. I don't know if you guys can actually see that. It is probably about, you know, let's say 2.5 inches taller, probably about 2.5 inches longer as well. The thickness is definitely different, and both come with different applications. You can see that's launched into Netflix there by accident. So that's another thing to keep in mind. This does come with applications such as, you know, you have your front-facing camera, so that gives you things like video calling, and of course this comes with applications as well, with your front-face video calling, your YouTube, and all that stuff. Now this does have the functionality of a controller built into it for your TV, which some people would find that to be absolutely amazing. I can definitely see those implementations being implemented later to the PS Vita. The benefit for the PS Vita is that I can, at the end of the day, take this away and go play a game, say, while I'm on the bus or on the train or whatever it is that I'm doing at that time. So I'm going to actually go ahead and boot up a game here. I'm going to boot up Assassin's Creed. If you guys haven't already, take a look at my review on that game. The latency on this is a little bit slower because I'm actually a little bit further away from my console than maybe I would like to be. But again, it comes back to talking about the console. If I leave a room with the gamepad, I can't play that other places. I can do that and more with the PS Vita, and that's what leads me at the end of the day to believe that the PS Vita has a little bit more potential than the gamepad, because at the end of the day, I can take this on the go and I can play. They're even saying your remote play will work from halfway across the world. I can basically go halfway across the world, jump onto a Wi-Fi, connect to my remote play that console on the Wi-Fi system, and power it down all on the same console. So that, to me, says exponentially amazing potential there. Now, the one downside is that these aren't clickable joysticks. Whereas you take something like the gamepad, because it is a standard controller, these are actual clickable joysticks. So I'm actually going to go ahead and boot up Mario here at the same time as well, providing that I can. Like I said, I'm a little bit further from my console than I would like to be, so the latency may create issues. Graphically, obviously the Wii U Gamepad definitely has an edge. It is playing console-based graphics, so you're not going to get full 1080p. You might get like 480 streaming on the screen here. Screen sizes, I believe this is a little bit bigger. I would guess around 5.5 inches. Now, this is just off the top of my head, guys, so don't quote me on this. This is at a 5-inch OLED. So the screen size is definitely bigger here, and like I said, the gameplay and the graphics are going to be better because it's streaming directly from a console. But if you're going to compare that functionality, you have to compare it to the functionality of the remote play, and we can't truly do that. But looking at the evolution that this has come through in terms of, just where it's come from day one to now, has been great strides, and I can definitely see us hitting what they, said in the initial beginning was PS3 graphics at one point or another. Definitely because, like I said, there's great potential for the PS Vita. All in all, though, guys, this has just been, a little bit of a comparison. Once I load in the gameplay here, it seems like the load is taking a little bit longer on the PS Vita itself. You can see what the gameplay looks like. Let's try and focus on this one for a second. So you can see how the gameplay is, the environmentals, the visuals. They're really good, the character models. I'm not actually playing here, guys. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what it looks like. Now, putting that aside, and we get to games like the Super Mario Bros., obviously, like I said, you're going to see that console representation on there. Let's go ahead and boot this up quickly. We will go on the Wii U Gamepad, begin the story mode. One of the things I'm very interested to hear from you guys while I'm booting this up and doing this here is, what are your guys' thoughts? I'm just going to play a quick level here. What are your guys' thoughts in pertaining to the Wii U Gamepad versus the PS Vita? Do you have a preference one over the other? If so, what it is, leave that in the comment sections. Leave why you stand by your arguments. Again, this is just a comparison video. They're two different beasts, so it's hard to compare them at this stage. I'm just looking at all things, including the future potential later on in the future and what this can possibly mean for consoles like the Orbis, and how it's going to contend with things like the Wii U. That being said, guys, we are obviously getting a little bit closer, I haven't played this in a while, to my apologies here, to Christmas coming up. So everybody, I want to wish you a happy holidays first and foremost. Second thing I also want to let you know is that I may not have a video going out next week, simply because, like I said, it is the holiday season and I do want to enjoy it with my family. So if you don't catch me next week, don't worry. I'll be sure to catch you guys around next time for my next video, which might be after the holiday season is completed, but I will be back nonetheless. Leave me a comment if you want to see a particular video in certain instances, or something in particular you want to see. Other than that, guys, that has pretty much been it for the Wii U Wii U Gamepad versus the PS Vita comparison, and which is the, I guess, ultimate better tablet device for your console, is, guess what I'm trying to get at here. Trying to find the right definition for it. So that's pretty much it. All in all, guys, thank you very much. I will see you next time. This has been Daddy1424, the PS Vita, the Wii U Gamepad. Like usual, peace, love.